change data source. Let's have my machine up here. Let's bring it up. So what we want to do right now, the first exercise is we want to go to our ODX. Let's change this one, and we go to our AW AdventureWorks data source in the ODX. If you right click that and go to Edit SQL Server Data Source, and in a database you simply change this to AdventureWorks 2014. Now notice that we have all tables selected in the data selection pane, and if you recall, that's what we did in the at the beginning of this project, at this workshop. So if I click on OK, it tells me that you made some changes to your data source. Do you want to synchronize? And yes, please. So now it will check if any of the tables, any of the fields that I was using further up my project, if they have been affected. And in this case, one table that I'm using, it's a table that is in my ODX, is the sys diagrams. It's gone. It will also show you usually here if any fields would have changed data type or anything like that. So that's one thing that changed. Another thing is, and this is not something it will tell you, but you can see that an additional tables has been added. You can export this to a file. You can click close, but let's keep it like that. Additional tables has been added, and we can choose to bring these in. In our case, I think we're satisfied, but note that all of your tables have now turned red since they're pulling data from another data source, so you need to redeploy and execute. I will take the two other exercises alongside this one and give you 10 minutes for the exercises. They are somewhat simple, but the exercise number, let me see if we can get this one up right here. So my agenda data sources, and we'll set it like this. So next up is we'll add an Excel data source. We'll do that by right-clicking our data sources, going to add sources, and find our Excel data source right here. We'll call this one budget. We'll browse for the file, and if you click on the classroom training files and go to data sources, you should be able to find the sales budget. Click on OK, and OK. Now it's been added. Similar to before, similar to any data source, we have to read objects from the data source. That applies for any data source out there. So the procedure, as soon as you've connected, is the same for all data sources. We'll add this one. We'll add a new schema for this one. So we'll remove the prefix. We'll go to schema. We'll click on add budget. OK. And then we'll set the budget as the default schema for this one. Let's just verify that it's been added. At the bottom, we can see that we have the budget, sales budget sheet added. The final source that we want to add is a legacy database that we have. And this enables for another exercise later on. So we're going to add a SQL Server data source, and we'll call this one Simple Bike. And it resides on my local machine, so I'll put in a dot, and we'll navigate to the legacy DB in the database and click on OK. Same procedure as before. Read objects from data source, select what we need right here, and then we will go to data source settings, remove the prefix, go to schemas, and add a simple bike schema that we can apply to this one. And the schemas are a great way to handle security, as you can give or restrict access to these based on tables based on the schemas. So now that we've added these, we need to right click and deploy and execute, and that's it. So added budget and legacy DB.